sorry, continuation. Now here x1 is dependent on x2 and x5, x3 is dependent on x5, x4 is dependent on x5. That means there are two free variables are there, those are x2 and x5. Now here therefore x is equal to x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. We are substituting values here. Now we are splitting this matrix into sum of two matrices, because there are how many independent variables are there? Two independent variables are there, that is x2 and x5. Now we are expressing this matrix sum of two matrices, right, into x2 and x5. Therefore this column and this column matrix forms a basis for null space of ASP. See here, this x1 coefficient and x5 coefficient forms the null space of the basis of the null space of A, right? Now next one, the change of basis. We will discuss this one in the next video. Change of basis is there. Next 14th page, this one. Now see here 13th page, eigenvalues and eigenvectors. This concept is very important, right? Now in our 4th unit also we will have eigenvectors and eigenvalues. See, what is the definition of eigenvector? A vector x is said to be an eigenvector if Ax is equal to lambda x. If Ax is equal to lambda x, then that x is said to be an eigenvector, and the corresponding value lambda is called eigenvalue. See here, Ax is equal to lambda x. Here x is called an eigenvector and this lambda is called an eigenvalue. This is the definition of eigenvector. Let A be a n by n matrix. Now a non-zero vector x is said to be an eigenvector if Ax is equal to lambda x. Remember this one important concept. Now what is eigenvalue? Now again same definition. Let A be an n by n matrix. A scalar lambda is said to be an eigenvalue if Ax is equal to lambda x. Same definition, but here we are concentrating on this scalar lambda. This scalar is said to be a eigenvalue, right? If Ax is equal to lambda x, then this scalar is said to be an eigenvalue. If A into x is equal to lambda into x, then x is said to be an eigenvector, right? Now see here, next eigenvalues are also called characteristic roots, latent values. Remember that one. See here the concept. Some matrix is given to you A, U and V are also given to you. We have to verify whether U is an eigenvector or not. Similarly, V is an eigenvector or not. That means we have to go through the definition. A vector x is said to be an eigenvector if Ax is equal to lambda x. See here also, here one matrix is given to you, here U is given to you. Assume that this is x. We have to find A into x is equal to lambda into x. Remember, Ax is equal to lambda x. That means here the given notation is U. If Au is equal to some lambda into U, then U is said to be an eigenvector. First of all, I have to calculate A into U. A into U is minus 2420. Now this A into U can be written as some scalar into U, no? Right, what is U? 6 and 5. 6 minus 5. If you multiplied this U by a scalar 4 minus 4, whether you are getting this value or not, A into U? Yes. Therefore, A into U can be written as some scalar into the vector U. X means U, no? Therefore, this scalar is minus 4. Therefore, A into U is equal to some scalar into U. Therefore, U is said to be an eigenvector. Next one, we are calculating V. V is given, we have to check whether it is an eigenvector or not. That means A into V is equal to some lambda into V I should get, right? Now for that, first of all I have to calculate A into V. A into V we are finding A into V is equal to minus 911. Now suppose if you multiplied by some scalar, we have to get the first element as 9 and the second element as minus 9, second element as 11. Now that means it is impossible to express. It is impossible to express some scalar into V, right? This means minus 9, 11 cannot be expressed as in terms of some scalar into V. That means A into V. A into V is not equal to some scalar into V. That means we cannot be expressed as A into V is equal to lambda into V. We cannot express. Therefore, V is not a eigenvector of A. That means your conclusion is AV is not a multiple of V. Multiple means some scalar multiple of V. Therefore, V is not an eigenvector. Next one. Show that 7 is an eigenvalue of the matrix A corresponding to the eigenvector. Right? Corresponding to some eigenvector. When do you say that a value is said to be an eigenvalue? If Ax is equal to lambda x, then that lambda is said to be an eigenvalue. Ax is equal to lambda x, then a lambda is said to be an eigenvalue, and this is said to be an eigenvector. Here lambda is given, that means eigenvalue is given. That means Ax is equal to 7x, right? Ax is equal to 7x. We need to find x, right? Now Ax is equal to 7x. We are solving this equation. Ax minus 7x is equal to 0. A minus 7i into x is equal to 0. A matrix is 1652 minus 7 into unit matrix 1001. Why we have to take 2 by 2 unit matrix means because the given matrix is of order 2 into x is equal to 0. After simplifying, minus 6, 6, 5 minus 5 into some x is equal to 0. Now here there are two procedures are there. We can that means minus 6, 6, 5 minus 5 into x1, x2 is equal to, you can equate it to 0, null matrix. Now without solving that one, the columns of ai minus lambda I are linearly independent. Linearly dependent. See, this column is linearly dependent on this one. That means the first column C1 is multiplied by minus sign. You are getting the second column, isn't it? That means C1 is dependent on C2, or you can say C2 is dependent on C1. Therefore, the equation Ax is equal to lambda x has a non-trivial solution. Therefore, 7 is said to be an eigenvalue of A. Show that 7 is an eigenvalue means we have to solve like this. This is the procedure, right? Now to find the corresponding eigenvector, I told you that means x1 x2 you have to equate it to 0, or you can apply row transformation and then you can solve it, right? See, by multiplying this one we are getting x1 x2 values are 1 and 1. That means x1 is dependent on x2. Therefore eigenvector is equal to 1 comma 1. Next one, the eigenvalues of a triangular matrix are the entries of the main diagonal. What is the upper triangular matrix means you can choose upper triangular matrix or lower triangular matrix. Upper triangular means principal diagonal, the elements below the principal diagonal elements are zeros. This is called an upper triangular matrix. That means we have, first of all we have to find the eigenvalues of this matrix. For that A minus lambda I have to calculate. A is this one minus lambda into unit matrix. Here I am taking 3 by 3 unit matrix. Why? Because the given matrix is of order 3 by 3. That's why you are taking unit matrix of order 3. We are subtracting this one. To get the eigenvalues, what I have to do? We have to equate the determinant to 0. That means we have to find the determinant of A minus lambda I and we have to equate it to 0. Now we are finding the determinant, we are equating it to 0. Now we will get a cubic equation, right? By solving the cubic equation, we are getting the lambda values as A11, A22, A23. That means the eigenvalues, or you can say characteristic roots of the given matrix are A11, A22, A33. But these are the nothing but the elements of the main principal diagonal. Therefore, the eigenvalues of a triangular matrix are always equal to the elements in the main principal diagonal. Next one. See, let A is equal to some 3 by 3 matrix is given to you. An eigenvalue of A is to find a basis for the corresponding eigenspace. For a basis for eigenspace. See, some A is given to you, matrix 3 by 3, and lambda is equal to 2 is the eigenvalue. What is eigenvalue? A minus 2 Ax is equal to lambda x. Ax is equal to lambda x, then lambda is said to be an eigenvalue. Here Ax is equal to 2x means 2 is the eigenvalue. See, a minus 2i we are calculating. After calculating, we have to multiply. We have to solve those equations, no? Right. Now, we are reduced argument matrix for this matrix is A minus lambda I after simplification. That means we are adding columns, 0 column we are adding here, and then we are applying row transformations. R1 changes to R2 minus R1, R3 changes to R3 minus R1. This one we are getting. Now, this one is multiplied by x1, this is multiplied by x2, this is multiplied by x3 equated to 0. 2x1 minus x2 plus 6x3 is equal to 0. 0, there are two 0 rows are there, no need to solve. Therefore, x1, x2, x3 is equal to, x1 value is dependent on x2 and x3. That means here 2x1 minus x2 plus 6x3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x1 is equal to what? x2 minus 6x3 by 2. That is x2 by 2 plus 3x3. That's why you are writing x1, x2, x3 as sum of two matrices by using this concept, this first row. Right? Now, therefore, the basis of the null space is always equal to these columns we have to write. No, these columns we have to collect. These are the vectors in the basis of null space of A. Right? Now, see, these are the problems. Try to solve these problems 1, 2 and 3. Next, characteristic equation. What is characteristic equation? Let A be a square matrix of order n, then the equation mod of A minus lambda I is equal to 0 is called characteristic equation of A, where lambda is a scalar. This scalar is nothing but a characteristic root, or you can say eigenvalue. Right? A matrix A is said to be invertible if and only if the number of 0 the number 0 is not an eigenvalue of A. The determinant of A is not equal to 0. If determinant A is not equal to 0, then the matrix is invertible. Another one is it won't have a the number 0 is should not be a eigenvalue. The properties of the determinants. Right? General determinants only. Suppose A is a matrix of order n by n, B is a matrix of order n by n. A is invertible if and only if its determinant is not equal to 0. If it is a non-singular matrix, then only inverse exists. If it is a singular matrix, determinant does not exist. Sir, what do you mean by singular matrix? Determinant A is equal to 0, it is said to be singular. If determinant A is not equal to 0, that is non-singular. Right? Now, det of AB is equal to det A into det B. Determinant of A transpose is equal to determinant of A only. Right? If A is a triangular matrix, then determinant A is the product of the entries on the main diagonals of A. Now, if A is a row is replacement, see, a row replacement operation on A does not change the determinant. That means if you apply some row transformations, if you interchange the rows and into rows, then the determinant does not change. A row interchanges the sign of the determinant. A row scaling also scales the determinant by the same scalar operator. That means if you multiply by a row by a non-zero constant, then the resultant determinant is also multiplied by that non-zero constant. Here application, find the characteristic of the matrix A. See here, it is a 4 by 4 matrix. There are 4 rows are there, 4 columns are there. It is a square matrix. Now here to get the characteristic equation, we have to find first of all A minus delta I. A here matrix, delta is any scalar, unit matrix of order 4. Why we have to take 4 by 4 matrix? Because the given matrix is of order 4 by 4. Therefore, after getting A minus lambda I, we have to find the determinant of mod A minus lambda I. The determinant is denoted by mod A minus lambda I. Now to get the characteristic equation, we have to equate the determinant value to 0. Now here the characteristic equation is called A minus lambda I is equal to 0 is called a characteristic equation. If you ignore 0, that is called a characteristic polynomial only. Now after solving this equation, we will get 3 roots. Those roots are called characteristic roots, or you can say eigenvalues. If it is a of order 4 by 4 matrix, then you will get 4 values for lambda. Here the 4 values for lambda is equal to, if you solve this one, you will get the 4 values. Here lambda power 4. See, the order of the matrix is equal to order of the characteristic equation. Here the given matrix is of order 4. Therefore, the degree of the characteristic equation is also equal to 4. And you will get 4 characteristic roots, or you can say 4 eigenvalues. Next one. If A and B are n by n matrices, then A is similar to B if there is an invertible matrix P such that P inverse AP is equal to B, or A is equal to PB P inverse. Now see, find the characteristic polynomials and eigenvalues of this matrix 2, 7, 7, 2. Here it is of order 2 by 2. First of all, I have to calculate A minus lambda I. After getting A minus lambda I, we have to find the determinant. Now to get the characteristic equation, we have to equate the determinant to 0. A mod of A minus lambda I is equal to 0 is called characteristic equation. CH equation is nothing but characteristic equation. Now we are solving this equation. See here, the degree of this equation is equal to order of the given matrix 2. Therefore, the characteristic equation is lambda square minus 4 lambda minus 45 is equal to 0. If you want to find the characteristic roots, or you can say eigenvalues, solve this characteristic equation. These values are nothing but characteristic roots, or you can say eigenvalues. These are the practice problems. Right? After this, practical problems are there. Right? I'll post these practical problems today evenings. Okay.